We are back with another review, and today we are going to be reviewing Rebuilding. Now, I don't know how the weather has been where you are at, but in Indiana, especially central Indiana, we have had a lot of snow here, especially on Saturday, and so it has made things a little bit difficult to be able to go out and see a movie. But I was able to see this as one of two movies that I saw on Friday in theaters. Now, Rebuilding is one of those movies I have to say I was very confused about in terms of its actual release. Because when you read online, it says it's released in select theaters. You look elsewhere, it says it's going to be released later. Some even have it saying that it was released, I believe, November 15th. So there was an aspect and a thought process of, I'm not actually going to be able to see this movie. But as I finished Not Without Hope, next came Rebuilding with the one showtime at 7:30 on a Friday. Now, with this movie, you are getting a story that I think is a little bit deeper than the title itself, because what I have to give this movie a credit for is that it actually is touching on many different things throughout the duration of the film. Now, the whole film starring Josh O'Connor is centered around a man named Dusty who loses his ranch due to wildfires. With this, it is forcing him to kind of rebuild his life, whether it's living on the farm or the ranch, or trying to rebuild relationships and really build a sense of community with those that are suffering the same kind of impact from the fire. Now, as you watch this movie, I have to say, there are a lot of moments in this movie that are good, but there are also some aspects that are kind of bad. And I don't mean bad from it's the worst thing you've ever seen, but there is enough in this movie where you almost feel like it drags on a little bit too much. Now, when you are looking at it, Josh O'Connor takes on the role of Dusty very well. There's a part of me that when it comes to Josh O'Connor, I always still remember him as being on The Crown. And so it's hard for me to buy into some of the characters that he is playing, especially in a movie like Challengers. But even in this movie, I think he does a good job. He is providing context to make sure that you understand that he is suffering, but he is also playing a role that makes it easy to follow and understand the situations that are taking place throughout the screen. And so as you watch this and you watch his daughter come into play and the camp that he is living at the time in the camper, you start to understand his personality and ultimately what he wants to do going forward. And so you almost start to think about, is he going to be the good person in this movie or is he a bad person? Because at times it makes it seem as if he is a bad person, but then as you watch and see what takes place, it kind of makes you wonder what is the end goal with him. Now, when you look at the relationships, I think it does a good job of bringing in the relationship with his daughter as well as his ex-wife, I believe. That is one of those things that I was a little bit confused about. I didn't know if it was his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend. I know they talk about the history. So in a sense, you kind of feel a little lost there. I'll be honest, when I get to the cons, I'll explain why I kind of toned that out. But when you are looking at it, it shows that there is some kind of relationship there. So obviously he is not that bad of a person if a relationship is still going to be there. But as you watch them build the relationship, that goes back to the title of Rebuilding. You are able to watch this, buy into what you see, and understand exactly what is going on the screen from that aspect. But then you get to some other parts I think are very slow. I think the dialogue in this movie is very condensed and it does make it difficult to follow at times. So as I just said, knowing the relationship with his ex-girlfriend, his ex-wife, there were times where the dialogue needed to be a little bit more extensive and it falls short. So you find yourself trying to piece together what you are watching on the screen. And I have to be honest, there are some moments in this movie that are very slow. So as you watch this and you're trying to buy into what is going on throughout the movie, even though it's only an hour and a half, there is so much condensed dialogue where you start to drift off and you get confused. You feel lost. And ultimately, you find yourself in a position where you start to wonder what is going to happen. Is this movie worth sitting here watching? Because there was a couple times where I honestly felt like getting up and walking out. Because as you watch what is taking place on the screen and you watch Dusty and you're not able to really connect to the characters on the screen, it does make it a little bit harder of a movie to just even sit through for an hour and a half. Now, when you look at rating, overall, it's not a terrible movie. Is it a movie that I would say is the greatest movie ever? Absolutely not. Is it going to be one of those movies that you sit down in 2025 and say, wow, that is one of the best movies I've seen all year? Probably not. This is a perfect streaming service movie where if it's a cold, snowy day like it's been here in Indiana, you could sit down, watch, and understand and enjoy. But if you are paying $13, $14 to go sit in a theater, you may find yourself thinking, I just wasted my money seeing this movie. So for me, when it comes to Rebuilding, it is about a 2.5 out of 5. It is a movie that I think it would be a solid streaming movie. It's a movie that I think older adults are going to enjoy. So it is perfect for an older person date night. No offense to older people. I'm 31, so I get it. I'm getting older too. But date nights, if you have kids and you kind of can understand the situation. But I don't think that this is going to be a movie for everyone. It's one of those movies you're either going to really enjoy or you're going to think you just wasted your time. And that's unfortunate because I like Josh O'Connor. I think him and his daughter did an excellent acting job in this movie. But I just don't think the story is significant enough to resonate with other things that you could go see in theaters that opened this past week, especially this week with some of the bigger releases coming out. It does make it a little bit difficult to want to gravitate to a movie that is only showing one time a week. And the trailer, I have to say before we end the review, if you watch movies based on trailers, this is one you're probably going to skip because the trailer in this movie is not very good. I honestly thought about skipping it myself because as you watch the trailer, you find yourself wondering what is actually going to take place. So for me, it's a 2.5 out of 5. It is okay. It's perfect for an older audience. Younger people may not enjoy it. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to go follow me on all the social medias at The Movie Teacher on Instagram, at The Movie Review Teacher on Facebook. Again, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to stay tuned for more reviews coming this week. We have some good reviews coming. We are almost on our holiday Christmas break, so we will have 2 weeks. Hopefully the weather holds up. We will have more reviews. Stay tuned. We have the best and the worst movies of 2025, and we will take a look at movies that I am anticipating in 2026. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will talk to you all later.